The story of this anime begins by showing a man named Negi Springfield who is a teacher. Negi has the power to make other people's clothes come off when he sneezes. The scene moves where it shows a woman named Evangeline K. McDowell. She is a 700-year-old vampire. She is also Negi's student at school. A few years later, Evangeline became a teacher in the village. And now her name is Yukihime. There were students who tried to hit Yukihime, but Yukihime easily defeated them. The leader of these students is Konoe Touta. It turned out that Touta's parents had died. Because of that, Touta was now living together with Yukihime. Then Touta met Negi's spirit. He told Touta to go to the tower. The next day Touta and his friends again attacked Yukihime, but failed. Then a teacher named Tachibana teach them magic. It turned out that Touta had no magical talent. Then Tachibana gave Touta a special bracelet for Yukihime to wear. Touta also gave the bracelet to Yukihime. It turns out that the bracelet can seal Yukihime's magic. It turned out to be a trap set up by Tachibana to catch Yukihime. Touta tried to prevent Tachibana. Then Tachibana wanted to kill Touta. Yukihime tried to stop him. Then Tachibana seriously injured Yukihime and Touta. Yukihime said that Touta actually died 2 years ago due to an accident. That's why Yukihime brought Touta to life. Then Yukihime unsealed Touta's power. And Touta has now become very strong. And he was able to defeat Tachibana easily. Touta and Yukihime finally recovered. The next day, Yukihime and Touta decide to go to the city so they can climb the tower. Then Yukihime said that Touta couldn't grow old. Because now Touta is immortal. Then they met a man dressed as a woman named Kuromaru. He is a hunter of immortals. And he is looking for a vampire who has the nickname as an angel of darkness. It turned out to be Yukihime. And Yukihime immediately attacked Kuromaru. It turns out that Kuromaru is also immortal. Then Yukihime ordered Kuromaru to fight with Touta. And Touta won that fight. Then Kuromaru becomes Yukihime's student. And they continued their journey. It turned out that Yukihime was the leader of the group of immortals. And that group is called UQ Holder. They will now head to UQ Holder's headquarters. There they met members of the UQ Holder named Gangoro and Iku. They told Touta and Kuromaru to take the UQ Holder entrance test. They must defeat the UQ Holder members within 7 days. Touta will fight against Karen. And Kuromaru will fight Gangoro. They ended up losing. Then they rested. Touta and Kuromaru met Yuki Shinobu, who was an ordinary person who worked as a maid. The scene shows the past when Yukihime and Negi. It turns out that Negi is Touta's grandfather. Moved to Touta and Kuromaru. They went to the storage room. There they met the number 2 UQ Holder named Jinbei. Then Jinbei told Touta to try to pull the legendary sword. Because no one has been able to pull out the sword yet. But Touta could pull out the sword easily. It turns out that the sword can talk and he is named Kurubo. Then Touta and Kuromaru practice so they can pass the test. The next day, Kuromaru managed to defeat Gangoro. And Touta managed to beat Karen. Then came the monsters to their place. Touta and Karen managed to defeat the monster. And now, Touta and Kuromaru have finally become members of UQ Holder. This time, Touta, Kuromaru and Karen get a mission to save the residents. There were also several other UQ Holders there. There Touta also trains so he can be stronger. Then there was a martial arts expert who taught Touta the lightning move technique. It turned out that the martial artist was an immortal hunter. He also brought his friends and subordinates to defeat the UQ Holder. And now they started the attack. The man named Zingzi attacked Karen. Meanwhile, in place of Touta and Kuromaru, came a werewolf who was a martial artist who taught Touta, and also a blind swordsman. They attacked Touta and Kuromaru. Touta was dying from their attack. Kuromaru was also injured, and the werewolf wants to kill Touta. But there is a boy who tries to help Touta. The werewolf attacks the boy. Touta suddenly attacked with a lightning step technique. Elsewhere, Karen shows her true strength so she manages to defeat her opponent. Moving to Touta place, suddenly Touta's hand changed and his strength increased. Then Karen also helped Touta. The werewolf returned to its original form. His name is Kaito. And Touta fights with Kaito. Touta lost as a result of that fight. However, suddenly Touta's strength increased again until he let out wings on his body. The technique is called the Arabi. With that technique Touta managed to defeat Kaito. But Touta returned to his original form. To be fair, Kaito invites Touta to arm wrestle. And Touta managed to win. After that, Kaito and his friends left. Yukihime had also come to that place. Then they returned to the UQ holder. Finally, it is known that Kuromaru is from the Yata no Karasa clan. And they don't have a gender before they turn 16. Karen suggested that Kuromaru be a woman, because Kuromaru likes Touta. Due to Iku's suggestion, Kuromaru disguised himself as a woman and asked Touta out on a date. Then Kuromaru took Touta to the tower. Touta was very happy to be able to get there even if it was only a slight climb. Suddenly they were attacked by Xingxian swordsmen. They wanted to kidnap Touta. Kuromaru tried to stop him but failed, because her female body was too weak. Then Kuromaru brought out his male power and managed to save Touta. The scene moves where it shows a girl named Kirie who is a member of the UQ holder. Then Kirie got angry at Touta. And suddenly Kirie was attacked and she was dying. Then she grabbed Touta's hand, and they went back to the past. It turns out that Kirie's strength is reset and restart, which allows him to return to the past. Then they both investigate who attacked them. It turned out to be Xingxi. He was ordered to capture Touta by a man named Fatavarunkus. He is a very powerful sorcerer and he is also a hero. Then Touta, Kirie, Kuromaru, Karen and Iku plan to catch Fatavarunkus. Yukihime sends a message and tells Touta that Fatavarunkus is the hero who saved the world along with Negi and Yukihime. However, when Negi died, Fatavarunkus' personality began to change. And they are now starting a plan to attack Fatavarunkus. Suddenly there was Touta's friend from the village behind him. Touta's friend approached Touta, while Iku was attacked by the enemy. And Fatavarunkus approached Touta. Fate said that he was a friend of Touta's grandfather. He invites Touta to come with him. He also threatened to kill everyone in the place including Touta's friends. Touta diverted his attention, then Karen attacked him. Iku also attacked with his robotic powers. And Kirie plans to take Fate to the past. But the plan failed. Then they wanted to run away, but they were blocked. Karen fights with Shanajire. Kuromaru fights with Ashura. Iku fights with Tsukuyomi Ui. And Touta against Fatavarunkus. They were all fighting, but the UQ holder's strength was too weak. They tried to hold on so that Kirie could use her powers. After recovering her strength, Kirie took Fate and the UQ holders into the past. There Yukihime was waiting. Fate finally gave up because he felt it was impossible to win. Fate offered to provide some information in exchange for his release. And it is known that the goal of capturing Touta is to save Touta's grandfather. Then it was also known that it was Fate that killed Touta's parents. Touta was angry to hear that, and immediately used his power. Suddenly Negi's spirit appeared. He said that the information given by Fate was wrong. Then Negi wanted to say something else but was prevented by Yukihime. After that Fate left. Then came a grandmother and a girl to the UQ holder. The girl's name is Mizora Yukihiro. She wanted revenge against Touta because Touta's grandfather had hurt her grandmother's heart. Then Mizora attacked Touta, and Touta easily defeated her. It turned out that as a result of the fight, Mizora liked Touta. And she confessed his love to Touta, but Touta rejected her because he didn't know her. The scene shifts Touta and Iku to the bathhouse. It is known that Iku is seriously injured. So his body had to merge with the robot. Therefore he became immortal. The scene moves where Yukihime talks to Touta. It turned out that Grandpa Touta's face that he met earlier was not his true form. It was the form of the original mage who was defeated by Negi, and now that mage took on Negi's body. Yukihime also said that Touta was created from Negi's genetics, and it could be said that Touta was a clone of Negi. And also the memory of Touta's parents is fake. Touta became sad after knowing that. Then Mizora suggests Touta to join the Mahou martial arts tournament. This is the first time in this tournament that all races can participate. And the final was held at the top of the tower. Touta wanted to join the tournament. But when he wanted to register, he was not accepted because the participant had been selected. Then Touta met Mizora's. After that, Touta was allowed to enter the tournament. Finally the tournament started. Touta's first fight was against Cutlass. It turned out that Touta's opponent was very strong. Kuromaru wanted to help but couldn't because there was a barrier in the arena. Touta used all his strength but he still failed. Suddenly Negi's body appears in the arena and wants to take Touta. But Yukihime came to stop him. Troops from Negi came to confront Yukihime. And the UQ holder came to help Touta. Negi's group consists of magic detective Yue, mind reader Nodoka, and fellow swordsman Jack. And the magician who rules the body of Negi. Then Touta suddenly entered the black hole. There he met Kunal Sanders. He is the magician who created Touta's sword. Then he told Yukihime's relationship with Negi. Then came the beginning magician named Laldabath. Yukihime was also there, and they were fighting. Touta almost lost that battle, but he was saved by a woman named Asuna Kagurazaka. Turns out she is Touta's grandmother. She is also Yukihime's friend. There was also a UQ holder in that place. Asuna said how to beat Lalda. The trick is to awaken the power that sleeps in Touta. Asuna brought them back to the real world, and they fought. Touta tried to resuscitate his grandfather. Yukihime and Fate came to help. Then Yukihime, Fate and Negi changed into their small forms along with Touta. They met the original Negi figure. After that they returned to the real world. Negi and his army are too strong. Touta got a new form that made his body turn white. Negi also uses that form. And Touta still lost. Touta unleashed his hidden strength. This power makes Touta and Negi move to where all the Negi students are. Then all the Negi students attack Negi. Then Asuna also came to that place. Asuna hugged Negi, and Negi started to wake up. Because his soul began to shake, Negi and his troops fled from that place. Elsewhere Jinbei uses his powers to save the residents. But its power is still a secret. After everything was done, they all returned to the UQ holder's base. This video ends here. Thanks for watching this video. If you like it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to support me.